Before we start, I need you to know this really happened to me. The police came to my apartment. I took photos, saved recordings, and wrote everything down while it was happening. And even now, I still don't fully understand what I experienced. I moved into what seemed like the perfect place. Quiet street, ground floor, huge windows facing a private backyard. I loved it. Until I started waking up every single night at exactly 2:14 a.m. And then one morning, I noticed something on the glass that made my stomach drop. Tiny handprints on the outside of my bedroom window. Fresh and way too small to belong to an adult. What I later found out about this apartment's past changed the way I sleep forever. About a week after I moved in, it started. Every night my eyes would snap open. I'd reach for my phone, check the time. 2:14 a.m., not 2:13, not 2:15, always 2:14. At first I blamed stress, new place, new sounds, new routine. But then the cold started. The bedroom would feel wrong, like the heat had been drained out of the air. So cold I could see my breath. Every window was locked. The heater was on full. It didn't matter. 3 nights in a row. Same time, same unnatural cold. Then came the 4th night. I woke up again at 2:14 a.m. The room felt like a freezer. I grabbed my phone for light and froze. On the large window facing the backyard were several small handprints, child-sized, clear, pressed against the glass from the outside. They were right at my eye level. I checked every door, every window, all locked from the inside. I went outside with a flashlight, no footprints in the grass, no ladder marks, nothing disturbed. I called the police around 2:47 a.m. They arrived, searched the yard, took photos of the window. There were no signs of forced entry, no explanation. One officer suggested maybe kids had touched the glass earlier that day. But I knew that wasn't true. I'd cleaned those windows myself the previous Sunday. Those prints were fresh. I didn't sleep again that night. The next day I ordered a security camera and mounted it facing the window. That night I closed the curtains tight. I couldn't stand the thought of something watching me sleep. At 2:14 a.m., tap, tap, tap. Soft, slow, deliberate. I lay there completely still, then silence. When morning came, the curtains were still closed, but underneath them, new handprints had appeared. 3 small prints, spaced evenly, like someone gently testing the glass. When the camera arrived, I set it up immediately. That night, I watched the live feed on my phone. 2:14 a.m. No motion alert. The backyard was empty. Then the tapping started again. And right there on the screen, the glass began to fog in small patches. Slowly, 5 tiny fingers pressed against it from the outside. A perfect child-sized handprint. Nothing showed up on the feed, but I watched it happen. The next morning, I called my landlord. I asked about the previous tenant. He hesitated. She broke her lease after 2 weeks, he said. Said someone was watching her through the bedroom window, waking her up at night. I asked him what time she was waking up. There was a pause. 2:14 a.m. My stomach dropped. That afternoon, I started digging. Old property records, archived articles. 4 years earlier, a house stood on that same lot. It burned down in a fire that started around 2:14 a.m. A young mother and her 6-year-old daughter were trapped inside. Some old articles mentioned neighbors who claimed they heard banging on the windows that night. One person described it as sounding like small hands. The bedroom window in my apartment sits exactly where that child's window used to be. She wasn't trying to get in. She was still trying to get out. That night, I decided to try something. I left a notebook and a pen on the windowsill. Curtains open, camera recording. I needed to know. At 2:14 a.m., the room went cold again. The tapping started, slower this time, almost hesitant. On the camera feed, more tiny handprints appeared, one by one, like someone searching. I stayed in bed watching. Morning came. The notebook wasn't blank anymore. The handwriting was shaky, uneven, like someone struggling. I knew immediately. I didn't write it. It said, "It hurts. Mommy won't wake up." The window won't open. Please help me get out. And at the bottom, written the same way, was my first name. At least, I think it was. Something knew I was there. I showed what I could to the police. They couldn't explain it. Friends thought I was imagining things. For weeks, I considered leaving. But then, everything stopped. No more cold, no tapping, no new handprints. The apartment feels warmer now, calmer. Sometimes late at night, I feel something near the window. Quiet, still, almost relieved. I stayed, and maybe that was enough. But every once in a while, when the clock hits 2:13 a.m., I still look at the window and wait. If you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, something that followed a pattern, a time, a sign, share it in the comments. You're not alone. Like and subscribe for more stories that blur the line between memory and whatever still lingers after.